Protists are organisms that are part of the kingdom Protista. They're organisms who share similar characteristics with plants, animals, and fungi, but don't quite meet the requirements of being a plant, animal, or fungi. Plant-like protists are protophyta, mostly algae. Protozoa are animal-like protists, and fungi-like protists are molds, which can further be divided into slime molds and water molds. Today we'll take a look at an animal-like protozoa called Didinium and a fungus-like mold, more specifically a slime mold, commonly known as dog vomit slime mold. Didinium is a ciliate, meaning it moves by small hair-like parts called cilia. It has two rows of these cilia called pectinelles, one row at the front of the organism, kind of like arms, and one row in the middle, kind of like a belt. They use these cilia that I'm drawing right now to move really fast, while constantly rotating clockwise and leaning to one side, so that they ultimately move in a spiral path. It moves like this so it can travel across a greater area in a shorter amount of time, increasing its chances of encountering food. Didinium are heterotrophs, meaning they obtain energy by eating other organisms. They're predators and mainly enjoy eating another ciliate called paramecium. The two animalistic traits of being heterotrophs and being able to move are shared by protozoa, including the Didinium. In fact, while they aren't actually animals, protozoa are thought to be ancestors of animals. Didinium have a big appetite. Oftentimes, their paramecium prey are 6 times its size, and sometimes they've been seen to eat a pair of dividing paramecium, which means the paramecium was reproducing, or Didinium may even burst from eating too much. How exactly do they eat their prey? Didinium have a proboscis at the front, which it uses to grab, paralyze, and eat prey. Then its mouth engulfs over the prey and digests it. Thus, in food webs and food chains, Didinium are consumers, but they also serve as important food sources for larger organisms such as insects and worms. If it does not have food, the Didinium forms a resistant stage, or a cyst, and it does nuclear reorganization. It reproduces asexually for long periods of time. Didinium is found in freshwater habitats, commonly in ponds or other still water. The organism is used to model predator-prey relationships in nature, more specifically when predator and prey populations oscillate. When there's a lot of predators, they'll eat a lot of prey, so the prey population decreases. Since there aren't a lot of prey left, a lot of predators may starve to death, and less predators allow more prey to grow and survive. And when there's a lot of prey to eat, predator populations increase. Thus, this cycle of populations continue back and forth. Dog vomit slime mold is a weird name for a weird-looking organism. Its scientific name is Fuligo septica, and it's a slime mold, which is a fungus-like protist. Another common name for Fuligo septica is scrambled egg slime mold, because some indigenous people in Mexico scrambled it and ate it as eggs. It can often be seen growing atop mulch in shrub beds or forests, generally in wet places. This is because they are absorptive feeders and therefore important decomposers. It eats rotting and decaying organic matter like rotting tree trunks or compost, and they aid in breaking down organic debris through diffusion. This process occurs when they absorb food molecules across their cell membranes. The slime mold is a unicellular organism with a collection of nuclei inside. This is called an acellular mold. When there isn't a lot of food, the individual cells group together into one cell with multiple nuclei. It is only motile, meaning being able to move, for some stages of its life cycle, but it moves very slowly just by changing its shape, pulsing forward and back. This pulsating movement is triggered by chemicals. Water carries tiny calcium molecules back and forth, and the calcium triggers a reaction that makes the cell wall contract. Dog vomit slime mold's life cycle is complicated, involving both asexual and sexual reproduction. Like fungi, it produces spores. After haploid spores are released, the dog vomit slime mold moves to moist, shaded areas to continue reproduction. Then, as the environment grows drier, it moves to a higher and brighter location. Like the Didinium, the slime mold is interesting to observe and apply to our human world. When it moves over a food source, signals inside the cell are triggered and it pulsates faster, pulling the slime mold away from areas with less food and towards areas with higher quality food. This solves a complex sociology problem called the multi-armed bandit problem. This problem is about minimizing the amount of resources expended amongst different similar options you can take to maximize the reward. For example, if you're trying to get to a destination, you obviously don't have all the time in the world to explore each individual route you could take, just to find which route is the fastest and most convenient. The slime mold, however, solves this problem. There was an experiment conducted where slime molds were put in petri dishes in a lab. The slime mold was put in the center of the dish, and it could move either left or right. One side had more food and the other had less. Interestingly, the slime mold always moved to the side with more food. These two creatures, Didinium and dog vomit slime mold, are only two of tens or hundreds of thousands of protists. But both the animal-like Didinium and fungus-like slime mold are fascinating organisms from which we humans can learn a lot from.